Welcome back to the channel. Today we are in Yokohama for a special video about an art festival happening now in the city. It's called the Yokohama Triennale and it presents many artists around a specific theme. This year's edition title is called Wild Grass Our Lives. I will tell you a little bit more later in the video. We're going to check out the museum, which is the main location of the festivals, but there are other locations throughout Yokohama. Before we talk about the Yokohama Triennale, I want to tell you a little bit more about the building behind me. Maybe you recognize it, maybe you recognize the style. It was designed by a famous Japanese architect called Kenzo Tange. He designed many buildings in Japan as well as abroad. He's worldly famous. It's very important for the history of modern architecture. If you look at the facade, maybe you can see the squares and the circles. The first two windows, which are here, and also the fake windows on the facade as well. These shapes can be found throughout the building, also in the concept of the museum. These shapes can be found again in the museum's exhibitions rooms, sometimes squared, sometimes rounded, as well as in other buildings by Tange Kenzo, such as the Fuji TV headquarters, where there is this huge sphere hanging from above the ground. Now, about this museum, it was designed so that people can see, create and learn art. It had to be a museum where people come see art as well as create it and learn more about it. For me, it's a very unusual shape in a big cosmopolitan area such as Yokohama. We are far more used to see high buildings than this very elongated one. It gives a totally different skyline, especially with this vast plaza just in front. I've never seen a museum's interior like this. This grand gallery has a height of 16 meters and gives such a feeling of vastness. I can't help but think of Isamonoguchi and the Sogetsu Plaza when I look at this place. If you're interested in architecture, you have to know that I also do tours in Tokyo. I take people see beautiful contemporary architecture in the city, and we have a lively conversation about history, the design, and also the stories behind the inspiration for the building. So you can check out the info in the description box, as well as reach out on Instagram. So because the Triennale is an art festival which happens every 3 years, it gives plenty of time to the festival teams to find artists and work on the theme and do research as well. Now let's talk about this year's edition of the Triennale. So the title is Wild Grass Our Lives. They first worked on the concept in 2021. Yeah, it takes a really long time to prepare for a Triennale. At the end of 2021, we were gradually getting back to our lives, reconnecting. Wild grass is a philosophy of life. We as individuals have our own force, strength, uniqueness, existence. It goes beyond systems, rules and powers or control. With the global tragic event of the last few years, we all looked within and reflected on ourselves. It revealed and highlighted other existing issues and created new ones. Because of this, we were confronted with the fragility of human existence and the limit of our political and social institutions. This year, the Triennale offers a platform to revisit and reflect on these defining historical moments and events, figures and trends of thoughts since the beginning of the 20th century. This reflection explores options for possible dialogue between individuals, rules and institutions. What could possibly work? The pandemic made a lot of people reflect on what's important. We saw the weaknesses in our systems and how fragile life can be. This festival wants to explore these experiences through art and ask questions about our future. The event showcases art that reflects on historical moments, important people and big ideas from the past century. Overall, the Yokohama Triennale, with this wild grass theme, is about finding hope and strength within ourselves, even in difficult times. It's a chance to learn from the past and explore possibilities for the future, all through the power of art. This installation caught my attention because of the way it embraces all of the museum spaces. We can also be surprised by the nature of the material used. What is this universe? The artist is of Sami descent, a nomadic people of Northern Europe. The structures he created are inspired by their way of life, always on the move, acquiring only what they need and having no fixed possessions. Just as we talked about the theme of the Triennale, the piece invites us to reflect on our own relationship to material things, our own conception. What if we only acquired what we need along the way? The artist explores relationships and the roles we play into them, whether it's the mother-daughter one or between a human and their dog. For a moment here, the roles are reversed through play, a doll, a mask. The artist invites us to look at our relationships from a different perspective, almost from the outside looking in. What is this? A monster? A skeleton of an ancient creature? The artist creates these otherworldly structures to invite us to imagine ourselves in a different world, as a different being. Who would we be? Would this be an armor, a piece of clothing? What our environment would be like? A story can then emerge within our mind. This immersive installation is inspired by a historical event. In 2018, Vietnamese women working at a factory in Taiwan began a strike. Locked in their dormitory, the event was live-streamed online. The viewers could share their daily lives, talking with others, resting, reading a book. The artist collective invites us to enter this dormitory and to become part of it. Sitting at a bed, reading a book, talking with other visitors. How do we feel being transported in this environment? How will we look at this historical event from now on, after having experienced this space from within? There's another artwork in the mall, so let's go see it. Snoopy is there. Now we are in Yokohama for the next locations. Here's the first one behind me. I just filmed, and we're heading to an exhibition in an art center. So. During the Triennale, there is another very interesting partner event going on in another location called Koganecho Bazaar. I did some scouting and I'm hoping to go back to film a special video about the art as well as the recent history of this neighborhood. So, stay tuned! Thank you for joining me on this tour of the Triennale in Yokohama. As always, let me know in the comments which artwork caught your attention, or maybe it was the architecture today. If you want to know more about art in Japan, make sure you subscribe and you like this video. You can also follow me on Instagram for daily tips on where to see art around here. I will see you next time. Mata ne!